I cannot give extra points for that if you finish more. Only 2 points is a maximum for that. But still, for your own growth and development, that's definitely a very, very good thing to do. So my recommendation is, yes, try your best to do as much as you can on Maltese, because when you're a student, it's open for you. Once you finish the course, the platform will be closed as well. Okay, now, who would like to try to describe this picture? And if there are no volunteers, I will pick someone. Who would like to try? Angeles. Okay, yeah. Who made a noise? Javier?
In this picture, I can see
Mhm.
two cyclists.
Cyclists, yes.
Um, on the street.
Mhm. The street is normally would call it in the city. Okay, that would be the street. If it's outside, it would be called a road. Yeah, so maybe
Road.
more appropriate, yeah, more appropriate word would be that here they are on the road. Okay, where are they? Describe a bit more the surroundings. What can you see around them? Is it a busy road? Does it look like a very busy road?
It seems
What?
like they are going around a mountain.
Uh-huh.
They may be
Yes.
going up or down the road.
Very good, very good. Okay, so that's describing surroundings. Now, what can you tell about the cyclists? Javier, try. How many of them? Describe them. What are they wearing, and how do you think they are feeling as well? Javier, continue, continue.
Helmets.
They have helmets. Okay.
Um, um, excuse me.
Okay, who would like to help Javier? So Javier already described the surrounding, where they are. Now, what else can we say? Javier said that they are wearing helmets. What else?
We can okay, so we can say that there are two women. Looks like two women. Maybe I cannot see the one behind, so I can say one woman and the one behind.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I can see if it's a woman or a man. But
Mhm.
they are wearing cycling clothes. One is
Mhm.
wearing a red shirt and some biker shorts. And then the other one is wearing a white and blue or light blue shirt and some biker shirts.
Okay.
From their faces, from the first one, the one that is on the front, I can see that she's like, looks like she's like tired or worried. I cannot
Mhm.
say one of both. They also look like they have been like cycling for a while. I can see
Mhm.
that their faces show that. They the one on the front is wearing an Apple a smartwatch,
Mhm.
and I don't know what else I can say.
Yeah, no, that's very good. That's very good. We describe the surrounding, we describe the people, we speculate how they might feel. So very good. Like you can see the watch, you can see that they are doing this probably professionally or semi-professionally. Yeah, that
Mhm.
they seem to be as Brian, I believe, said, they looking at the surroundings, we can tell that they are going on the mountain roads. So they must be quite tired, they must be exhausted, but looking at how they probably are enjoying this type of pastime. So yeah, so they are probably happy and tired at the same time. Very good, well done. Next, this one is easy. Who would like to try? Maylin.
Okay, there is a lot of kids paying attention to the teacher. I think it's a woman. I think the second one, it's trying to pay attention. The third one, the boy with blue t-shirt,
Mhm.
he's, I don't know, chilling.
Mhm.
He doesn't worry it. There is I don't know how to say in English, como de tiza, o sea, pizarra de tiza. I don't know how to say.
Asking, what class do you think they have here right now?
Maybe arts,
Yes.
because there is some paints, books,
Mhm.
colors.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. Very
But
good.
in
Very.
class it seems math, because there are some problems.
Yes. Very good. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. You can see some painting. You can see some brushes here. You can see different types of pencils. You can see that everyone has a big, what seems to be like some sort of coloring book or painting book. And you're absolutely right and accurate in describing how they look or how they feel and how much attention they're paying. So we can see that the further down from the teacher you go, the less attention they're paying. The first one seems to be very interested, then the second student is kind of confused, and the third one is chilling, as you said. Okay, very good, well done. Now, let's try to change it slightly. So in this case, I want you to look at the picture here on your left. Okay, so look at these two pictures on the left side, this one, and think, what might be difficult for the people about trying to win in these situations? Okay, what might be difficult for the people about trying to win in these situations? So we're talking about these two pictures. We're comparing these two pictures. So what might be difficult to this person here, and what might be difficult to these people here? Who would like to try? It's a slightly different task. Here we're doing the comparison. So we're doing the comparison of two photos. So it's slightly different to the task that we did previously, just describing the picture. Here we are comparing the two pictures. So we're trying to find something in common of these two pictures, or we're trying to find the similarities or differences. Okay, who would like to try? What might be difficult for the people about trying to win in these situations? Who wants to give it a go? Laura?
What's hard? What might be difficult for them to win?
Mhm.
Perhaps it's the competition itself, or the weather, or
Mhm.
perhaps that, those two.
Okay. Okay, so you can see the two pictures. Can you see any fundamental differences between the two?
One, the second picture, they're competing alongside many other people.
Mhm.
And in the first one, it's just tennis, just
Mhm.
a one-on-one sport.
Okay. Now, if you look a bit in the background of both pictures, what differences can you see there?
One has a large crowd and the other doesn't.
Here you go. Here you go. So again, when we're starting to describe from the pictures, this could be your key, because the question is, what might be difficult for the people about trying to win in these situations? So it's not only what you said that they're competing to win one against one or one against the group of people in the second one, but it's also dealing with your fear. A lot of people have a fear to fight, to perform, to talk, or to do whatever in front of the big crowd. So again, here in the first picture, you need to mention that the person not only is trying to win professionally, but he, or looks like he needs to deal with the stress that is caused by the crowds here, because that can be very stressful. In the picture down, the people or the kids don't have that, okay, because it seems to be the race in the park, so they're just racing maybe for the school race or so on. Also, if you are comparing the differences, probably the first one looks a bit more professional, correct? Again, with a crowd, you think that it's a lot of people who showed up to see this event. So this is some sort of maybe professional competition. The one down, although they do have the numbers here, so probably it is some sort of semi-professional race, but again, it's not attracting as many crowds as the first one. So very good description. Well done, Laura. Again, this is a slightly different task, so we're going to try to practice more of these too. These actually are taken from the Cambridge exam. Cambridge exam for FCE, which is kind of B2 and above level. So it is around where you are, maybe slightly higher, but this is something that is done when you're taking the professional exam. You're given these two pictures, and you need to compare and contrast them. Let's have a look at the one on the right side. What are the people enjoying about spending time outside in these situations? Okay, so again, we have two pictures here. We're looking at this and this. We're comparing the two pictures. So have a look at the surroundings, where they are. Have a look at the background. Have a look at the actual number of people and what exactly they're doing. Okay. What are the people enjoying about spending time outside in these situations? Who would like to try? A lot of volunteers. Well done. Okay, Jamile.
In the first picture, we can see that there are a lot of friends having like a picnic in the park, and yeah, just talking with each other. And in the second picture, we can see girls hanging out, maybe going shopping or something like that. So I would say they are enjoying the company they're having and the view as well. Yeah, spending time with friends. Maybe they are like classmates in the first picture, or maybe it's like a reunion after graduation or something like that, so they haven't seen each other for a long time. And in the second picture, maybe they are just like best friends hanging out together and going shopping. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Very good. Kimberly, would you like to add something?
No, I think same. The figure above enjoying sharing with friends, because telling stories or along with them. And the second pictures is two friends who go to shopping. Who joins spending money and go to shopping.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Very good. Juan, would you like to add something?
It appears that in the first picture they are having a meal, maybe some barbecue. I think in the back we can see a grill, and in the second picture it appears they just finished shopping, maybe, because they're carrying shopping bags.
Yes. Yeah, very good. Very good. Yes, absolutely. Like when we're looking and comparing these two pictures, again, let's focus and let's start from the background. So in the first picture, we can see that the action is happening in some sort of park, correct? Because they're sitting at a table. You can see a lot of trees around. As Juan said, you can see probably a barbecue there in the background. So they are somewhere in the park, in a fresh place. The picture down is quite the opposite. The picture down is taken in what seems to be some sort of maybe the high street in a big city, because you can see that there is a like some sort of coffee shop. You can see some people wandering around, people who did the shopping. You can see the decorations and so on. And all of that would tell us that this is probably happening in some sort of busy street. And yeah, so that's to start. Then you can focus on the groups, which again, 3 of you very correctly noticed. The first picture, you can see a big group of people enjoying the food, enjoying the conversation, enjoying the maybe they did not meet each other for a long time, so enjoying that time. The picture down, again, you can see a much smaller group, so you can see only 2 friends who are walking around. Maybe they just did the shopping, maybe they're still going to do the shopping, but it's a much smaller group. But nonetheless, they're still enjoying their company of each other. Okay, very good. So we'll try to now have a mixture of these. Again, when you're describing for both, when you're doing the compare and contrast, or when you're just describing the picture, it's always good to start from far. Far meaning the background, where are they, the environment, and then come a bit closer and focus on the actual people or the objects of that specific photo. So very good observations, very well done. Now let's move on. So yesterday we spoke about the first conditional, correct? Who remembers how and when do we use the first conditional? Angelica, Emilio, and Guillermo, your cameras on, please. Andrea, welcome, your camera on. Danny, Anais, thank you, thank you. Okay. Thank you. Okay, now everyone is present. So yesterday we spoke about the first conditional. Who remembers when do we use the first conditional? Do we use the first conditional to talk about future, present, or past? Let's start here.
Future.
Future. Future or present. Very good. Do we use the first conditional to talk about real or unreal situations? True or untrue?
Real.
Real. Very good. Okay. So everyone, those who missed the class as well, you have the access to our WhatsApp group, and in our WhatsApp group I send this. Okay, so please do make sure you go through these rules, because as I said, now we're going to continue introducing more conditionals. There are 4 in total: conditional first, second, third, and then 0. So and they're all very, very different in terms of the structure, in terms of when do we use them, and so on. So we really need to have everything in order, because we're going to be comparing them as well. So we use the first conditional to talk about the possible or likely future or present events and expected results of those events. They are real. The possibility of action happening is very likely. Now, what is the structure of the first conditional? So remember we said about the first conditional. The first conditional, or any conditional for that matter, will be formed out of 2 parts. So the sentence will be formed out of 2 parts: if clause or if part, and then the main clause. So every single time when you see if or unless, you know that that will be the if clause or if part of the sentence. When you look at the other part or the rest of the sentence, you will know that that will be the main clause. For both clauses, we need to use different tenses. So for the first conditional, For the if clause, we use present simple, which means after if, we always gonna use the present simple, no other tense, when we're talking about the first conditional. And for the main clause, we're gonna use will, going to, won't, or might, plus the infinitive. If I miss the bus, I will take a taxi. Okay, so here you go. If indicates to us that this is the start of the if clause. And then we see miss the bus. It's a present simple. We cannot say if I missed the bus with the ending ed, past tense, because that would not be the first conditional. The correct way to form a first conditional is if plus present simple, and then will, and then the infinitive. If I miss the bus, I will take a taxi. If they lose the game, they will not go to the finals. Remember the punctuation. If we start the sentence with the if clause, as we have here, after the if clause finishes, we're going to put a comma here and here. However, we can switch that and we can start the sentence with the main clause. The meaning will not change. I will take a taxi if I miss the bus. No problem there. But the only difference is that if we start the sentence with a main clause and then we put the if clause, we don't put this. Okay? So the punctuation only will be relevant when we are starting the sentence with the if clause. If clause, comma, main clause. If we start a sentence with a main clause, there is no commas there. Main clause and then the if clause. No commas, no separation. Okay? So you have this. You also have this. We're not going to go through this again, but I would like you to just review it. And as I said, like once we start introducing more conditionals, then it can become a bit more challenging and a bit more complicated to separate them. So please make sure that you know the structure. If plus present simple, will plus infinitive. That's going to be the structure of the first conditional. And we're talking about the real situations that are likely to happen and the consequences of those situations. Now, let's put this into practice. So I would like you to go to the Unit 7A workbook. And I would like you to do activities 3A, 3B, and 3C. These are all activities related to the first conditional. So scroll down, Unit 7. Sorry, Unit 7. Yes, Unit 7A workbook, and then the grammar activities 3A, 3B, and 3C. Okay, sorry for the confusion. So again, Unit 7A workbook, because student book we finished already. So Unit 7A workbook, scroll down to the grammar, first conditional, 3A, 3B, and 3C. Match the sentences halves, complete the sentences with a word in the box, and complete the sentence with the correct form of the verb in bracket. Okay, these three activities, please. Anais and Raul, your cameras on, please. Thank you, Raul.
Picture. I need to if you check the exercise 3C because I check the answer and the platform show me a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, send me the print screen
Okay.
to my WhatsApp. I'll have a look. 3C, you said.
Yes.
Okay, send me the print screen, please.
Teacher, I
Yes.
have an issue with that one too. The thing is, I didn't write aren't. I wrote are not. And it shows as if it's wrong. Then I don't know if you can check that manually or
I'll check.
thank you.
Please do not confuse. Remember what I said. Please pay attention to the structure. So remember, the first conditional, the structure is if plus present simple for the if clause. And then for the main clause, we have will, going to, won't, might plus infinitive. So it's not will not, it's won't. Yeah. So that's one of the things to remember. Will or won't, not will not. That's not the structure of the first conditional. So Emilio updated yours. Laura, I'm checking yours. There is two. Yes, are not. Yes, only one more point. Yeah, updated yours, Laura, as well. The three activities, 3A, 3B, and 3C. Okay, 3 minutes left. Anais, your camera on, please. Okay, 1 minute to finish activities 3A, 3B, and 3C. Welcome, Luis. Your camera on, and we are doing activities 3A, 3B, and 3C from Unit 7 workbook, 7A workbook. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, time's up. So everyone finished. Now, to finish off the unit, Unit 7A workbook, I would like you to focus on the activities, on the 2 activities here at the very, very bottom, listening activities. Listening activity 5A and 5B. Listen to a radio program about a new TV series. Which word describes the methods used by the teacher in the series? And then listen to a radio program about a new TV series and correct the mistakes. Okay, so Unit 7A workbook, the last 2 pending activities, listening, 5A and 5B. If you miss some classes and you haven't completed any of these activities, please make sure you complete them as soon as possible, because very shortly I will be putting the deadlines on those. So by now, those who attended all of the classes should have completely finished all of the units, 6A, 6B, student book and workbook, and then 7A and 7A workbook. All of the activities should be finished by now. Okay, these 2 are the final ones from 7A workbook. If you missed any classes, please review all of the activities and make sure you finish all of them. Because as I said, I will be closing those activities soon. Now focus on this, 5A and 5B. Please make sure you start on time because I have 31 students in the class and only 10 students who logged into Moodle. Now 12. Unit 7A workbook, scroll all the way down to the listening and the two activities there, 5A and 5B. Juan, Andrea, your camera is on, and we have 2 minutes to complete the both activities. Juan and Andrea, your cameras on, please. One minute, and then we move on. Both activities have to be completed. Yeah, so listening 5A and 5B, please. Okay, Maylin. Thirty seconds left. And time's up. Okay, so before we move on, Andrea will spell the word cow, or cows in plural, and then I will be able to move on. Yes. Okay, some interesting spelling there I saw. Now, so just a last reminder for those who missed a certain class or multiple classes, please make sure as soon as possible you finish activities 6A, 6B, 6B workbook, 7A student book, and 7A workbook. All of the activities in these units have to be completed. All of them. Okay? So if you haven't completed one or the other, please make sure you log in and complete all of them. Okay? Because by now, every single one of them is completed. Now, let's move to the next unit. We're going to move to the unit 7B. And in this unit, we're going to be talking on top of the grammar, the already mentioned conditionals, but we're also going to be talking about our ideal home. So I want you, yes, Carla.
Teacher, how many units we need to see in this level?
We are going to be doing up to unit 10B.
Ah, okay, thanks.
Yeah, but the first units have, for example, unit 6 has 3 subunits, 6A, 6B student book, and 6B workbook. The same with the unit A. Sorry, 7. It has 3 units, then unit 8 has only 2. Same with unit 9 has only 2, and unit 10 has only 2. So it's going to be much quicker then. So I want you to, for a second, think about your ideal home. Okay, imagine your ideal home, how it would look like, where it would be. Would it be in Ecuador? Would it be in Guayaquil, in Quito, or maybe somewhere else? And describe your ideal home, how your ideal home would look like. How many bedrooms it would have? Would it be in a private neighborhood? Would it be maybe in a city center? Would it be a small place, a big place, a private house, a apartment, a penthouse, whatever you wish? Maybe it would be like a small house in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so think about what and how your ideal home would look like. Okay, 2 minutes to think. Think of some adjectives. How would you describe your ideal home? So is your ideal home spacious? Is it crowded? Is it modern? Is it classic style? Is it big, small, in a peaceful or in a noisy part of the city? Think about the different adjectives, how you would describe your ideal home. Okay, Janella, let's give it a go. Could you describe your ideal home?
Okay, the ideal house, I would like to live in my have a very large what do you say patio in English?
Patio, what's the word?
A backyard.
A backyard, yes.
Okay,
A backyard,
because
or you
I
could say
like
maybe a
dogs.
garden as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so where would your ideal home be situated? In what city? Or in what part of the city? Janella, would your ideal home be situated in Guayaquil or in somewhere else? Would it be situated in a city center or maybe in the outskirts of the city? Where would you like your ideal home to be? Okay, we lost Janella. Who else would like to describe their ideal home? Carla, let's try.
Okay, I like the idea of living outside the city center.
Mm-hmm.
A house surrounded by trees, not too far from shopping centers, and the easy access to the center.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay. And how big or how small your house would be?
Okay, just the necessary 3 rooms, kitchen,
Okay.
a big backyard.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So would you like to live in a house or would you like to live in a flat?
A house, definitely.
A house.
House.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Daniel, can you describe your ideal home?
I would say that I'll say that I'll prefer a modest size house
Mm-hmm.
with a spacious garage with 3 to 5 bedrooms, 3 to 4 full bathrooms,
Mm-hmm.
I would have a jacuzzi or a swimming pool.
Mhm.
A jacuzzi probably smaller, and it will probably take less to all the everything that involves managing the jacuzzi.
Maintenance.
Maintenance, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, and where do you see your ideal home? Where would be situated?
I would prefer it in the countryside, but
Mhm.
right now I'm living in a flat that is on a building right in the
Mhm.
center of the city, and I don't mind it right now because I mean everything is nearby, and I
Mhm.
don't mind it. Probably whenever I get older, when I grow older, I
Yeah.
would prefer a house in the countryside with all the specifications I mentioned before.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Very, very, very exciting. I hope it will work out. Maria Antonietta, can you describe your ideal home?
In a quiet, out of the city, in a quiet village can be.
Mhm. Mhm. How big the house would be, or it was the house or a flat?
House.
House. Okay.
House for about 3 or 4 rooms.
Mhm.
Have a space for dogs, big dogs. I like a
Mhm.
dogs. Very big.
Okay. So how many dogs would you have in your house?
If I can, 5. I love the dogs.
Then dream a bit bigger for a bigger house. I think 5
Bigger,
dogs.
yes.
Okay, very good. Anything else would you like to have in your ideal home? Okay.
That's it. Okay. Mhm.
Okay, good. Ingrid, are you here? Yeah. Could you describe your ideal home?
Okay, my ideal home will be here in Ecuador with
Mhm.
my parents, and I would like my house to be big, 2 or 3 floors.
Mhm.
It to have 4 rooms, 1 room for me, the others for my children.
Mhm.
I want a big kitchen, 3 bedrooms.
Mhm.
I would like a large patio to
Mhm.
be up to high parties.
To what? Sorry? A large patio for what?
What?
Sorry, I did not catch. You said I would like a large patio for, and I did not hear the last part.
Oh no.
For now. Okay. Okay, very good. Thank you. Diego, could you describe your ideal home?
Hello, my ideal home. Okay. In the 3 floors,
Mhm.
I think I'm being guarded with my 4 dogs and 3 cats. I don't know. I think had a pool, a big pool, um, and with a 2 garage.
Mhm.
In the special, I think that if no, take a big for large, but
Mhm.
for wide.
Mhm.
I think I think kind of my ideal home.
Okay. Okay, very good. And Luis, Can you describe your ideal home?
Well, I will be a little ambitious, and so my ideal home will be located in the zone mountainous in Malibu. I don't know, I like a house with 4 or 5 bedrooms, a pool, a gym, with a fire pit. I don't know what more.
And who would be your neighbors in Malibu? You would have some famous neighbors, I guess. Who would like to be your
No,
neighbors?
without neighbors.
Okay, very good, very good. Being ambitious is always always very, very good. Now, so in this unit, we're going to be talking about home. We're going to learn some new vocabulary related to the houses, related to the homes as well. Let's have a look at these 2 pictures first on the screen. So let's look at this picture here first. Brian, could you describe the picture? Brian, could you describe this picture here?
Yes, there is a family. Well, the couples maybe are discussing some about news, about different things of the family, and I think that the young man there is their son. Well, there he is reading the news on paper, and he's drinking a cup of tea, a cup of coffee maybe, and yeah, they are in the kitchen.
Okay, very good. Now let's have a look at the picture down here. Narelli, could you describe this picture here? Narelli? Angelica Loja, could you describe the picture here, please? Angelica?
¿Me escuchan? Okay.
Yes.
I see 4 friends who are in the kitchen talking.
Yeah, and what are they doing?
Two women and 2 men.
Anything else?
They have sweat like they have buzo chompa.
Yeah, don't worry about what they're wearing. Just describe what are they doing. So you can see 4 friends, okay? 2 boys and 2 girls. What are they doing? The girls are reading the newspapers. The boys? What are they doing?
They are looking on the tablet.
On the tablet. Another one is making coffee here. Now, if you had to compare these 2 pictures, how are they different and how are they similar? in the context of when we're talking about home and living. How are they similar and how are they different? Andrea.
Can you repeat the question, please?
If you look at these two pictures, how are they different and how are they similar in the context of living, in the context of home? What do you think is the main difference between these two pictures?
The kitchen, it seems like way just more spacious in the first one, and in the second, sorry for the noise. And then in the second picture, I see like the kitchen is a little more tiny, and also like the what else? I can see like a lot of more kitchen supplies in the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Which one is cleaner, more neat, more organized?
The first one seems cleaner.
Mm-hmm. Now, in terms of the people who live in that house, so who do you think lives in the first house?
Like a family, and in the second one, like a group of friends.
Here you go. Okay. So yes, absolutely. The first picture seems that the family, so mother and father, and this is probably their son who lives in that house. The house looks clean. The house looks neat. The father and mother are both cleaning up. Everything looks and seems to be very well organized. Quite a modern looking house. The second one, it seems to be a group of friends are sharing that flat. Flat sharing means that they all live in the same place. So again, you can see this is a bit more, I wouldn't say it's unorganized, but it's definitely less minimalistic than the first one, correct? So you still have the bowls on the table, you have a lot of magazines here, you have some other things on the side. So this is a group of people who are sharing the flat and they live together. Now, which one of these two houses would you prefer to live and why? Meaning a cleaner, much more modern house, but with your parents, or a bit more, wouldn't say messy, but less organized house with your friends? Kenya, which one would you prefer to live in and why?
I prefer one picture.
The first picture to live with your parents.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Why? So remember, the first picture is, as we said, it will be living with your parents in a modern, nice and clean and organized house. Picture number two is a bit messy, maybe not so nice house, but to live with your friends. So which one would you prefer, Kenya? Kenya?
Hablando solita. I prefer one picture. I pick picture because I enjoy my family.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. Kimberly, how about you?
Repeat.
I prefer to live with my parents because they will be in charge of taking care of the house and will be in charge of starting until I am more independent.
Okay, very good. Alvaro, how about you? Which one would you prefer?
I prefer the first picture because I like to be with my parents.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Danny, how about you?
I prefer to live in the first house because it has a more modern design. I only live with my parents.
Okay. So now the question for everyone. Who would prefer to live in in the second house with their friends instead of living in a much more organized house with their parents? Who would prefer to live in the second house? No one. Everyone would prefer to live with the parents. Okay. Okay, very good. Very good. This was actually one of the, you know what cultural shock is, correct? Cultural shock is when you experience different cultures who are different from what you're used to. So for me, this was one of the first cultural shocks that I experienced here, that how close the families are. In Europe, once you turn 18, everyone wants to run as fast as they can from their parents' house, because this is kind of when you start to be independent. So they really, once you turn 18, everyone, as soon as possible, leaves their parents' house and move in with their friends, with their classmates from the university. Here, of course, the family bond is very different. So everyone prefers to live with a family. And well, from the little experiment we did here, everyone would prefer to live with their parents in a much more organized and clean house, and not to live with their friends. Okay, it's very interesting how the cultures are different. Now, question number 2. Right here. Jamilet, could you read the question, please?
Yeah. Who do you live with? Do you get on well? Do you argue about anything? What?
Okay, so we're going to go into the smaller groups of 2, and I want you to just discuss these questions. Who do you live with? Do you get on well? Meaning, do you argue about something? Do you agree about something? If you do, what do you argue about? Do you argue about the daily things? Who's going to wash the dishes? Who's going to do the laundry? Who's going to cut the grass and so on? Or you don't? Okay, so with your partner, discuss. Who do you live with? Do you get on well? Do you argue or not? And if you do, why do you argue? Do you argue about the basic routine things or something else? Okay, so 2 minutes, share with your partner. Okay, you can go to the breakout room now. Share with your partner. Who do you live with? Do you argue or you get on well? And if you do argue, what is the main point of argument? Okay, can go to the breakout rooms now.
A ver,
Not other, please. No other.
Alright. So I start, okay? So I live with my parents and my siblings. I have 2. And basically we get well because most of us are like clean and organized. But I usually fight, or I argue with my sister because
Hi.
Hello.
How do you live with my brothers? I have one sister and I have one brother and my 4 dogs. I have a big house. And do you get along? Yes, I get along well with them both. But sometimes we fight over who should clean the house.
And who wins that battle? Who wins the battle doesn't have to clean. Or you share the responsibilities.
We take turns at the month.
Okay, good. Good. Continue.
Hi, teacher.
Hello. Melissa, are you here?
Yes, but I
Okay.
think yeah, she has a problem.
Okay. Here she.
Hi, Melissa.
Okay. Did you share, guys, or not yet?
No, not yet. But it's the first try. Melissa, who do you live with your family? Mm,
Okay. Maybe Guillermo, you can show the example. So you tell us, who do you live with? Do you get on well, or do you argue with those people, or
Um, I live with my parents, with my family.
Mhm.
I live with my mother, my father, and my sister. I think that I'm live well.
Mhm.
I live with my dogs, for example, too. I live with two dogs,
Mhm.
and I think I don't agree anything else.
You don't argue?
What?
Do you argue with your family members or not?
Uh, no,
No,
I'm not.
okay, so you get along well. Okay. Who is in charge of cleaning the house, or do you argue about that?
Can you repeat, please?
Who is in charge? Who is cleaning the house? Do you have like someone that maybe one day or one week you clean the house and your sister or your brother or your mother cleans the house, or who is in charge of the house? Who's in charge of washing the plates after dinner and so on?
I think it's a word share. For
Mm-hmm.
example, maybe the someday I clear the the bathroom, for example. The
Mm-hmm.
other week, my sister clean the bathroom
Mm-hmm.
or clean the ah
Okay. Yeah.
yeah it's the work share
You share the
with
work.
all.
You
Yeah.
share the responsibilities. Okay, very good. Good. Continue. Melissa, continue. Share with Guillermo, please. Did you finish, guys?
Yes. So we talk the question. Would would who do you like with, and do you get on
Mm-hmm.
well, and do you agree about anything?
Okay. So who do you live with?
Okay, I am first. I live with my mom
Mm-hmm.
and we get along very well. Sometimes we argue, but it is about trivial matters like
Mm-hmm.
washing the dishes or taking out
Mm-hmm.
the trash. And on the
Mm-hmm.
other hand, we don't argue much.
Mm-hmm. So how do you share these household responsibilities?
What?
How do you share these household responsibilities, like taking the trash? Who's taking the trash? Who's washing the dishes? Who is cleaning the house? Who is, I don't know, doing the washing up? Do you have certain things that you are in charge of, or you change it every day, every week?
In my house, we don't have to anyone specifically or
Mm-hmm.
specifically assigned to that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you just do it as the
Uh-huh,
tasks
uh-huh.
come. Okay,
Yes.
okay, very good. Very good. Yomi, how about you? How about your house? Do you share these responsibilities with someone, or you do it yourself, everything? I can't hear you. Your microphone, Yomi?
I am think Joami has to Microsoft problem.
Okay. Okay, so she didn't share with you as well.
Sure, but not well because I think the internet.
Okay, okay, okay. We'll come back to the main room in a minute, okay?
Okay,
Hello.
so hi. I was saying that
Let me see.
I live with my parents and my sister. I have another
Mhm.
sister, but she doesn't live at home. So I
Mhm.
have a better relationship with my mom,
Mhm.
and I do get along well with my dad and my sister. I like to go shopping with my mom. I like to help her in anything that she needs. And with my dad and my sister, we like to go out to eat. And I do
Mhm.
like to live with them. It's easy to live with them.
Okay. Okay. Who's in charge of all of the household activities? Like washing the
Um,
dishes, cleaning the house, and so on and so on.
so
Do
in
you
my
share those?
house,
Yeah.
no, in my house, we have like and someone who helps with the house chores, like
Mm-hmm.
an employee, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Okay.
don't share that the chores of the house, but we do, for example, doing the laundry, that we
Mm-hmm.
do ourselves. So I do my laundry and my sister does her laundry and so on. And when we have to cook, usually
Mm-hmm.
my mom cooks or I cook. And my dad and my sister help to clean the dishes and
Okay.
wash them.
Okay. Very, very good. Very good. Do you know how to cook well?
Yes, I think I like to believe that I can cook well.
Well, okay. Fingers crossed for you, for your parents and your sister. And they're not suffering, I'm sure. Okay, Brian, how about in your house?
Okay, so I live with my mom and my little brother. Well, I have a better relation with my mom than with my father. Nevertheless, I just live with my mom. My father live in another city,
Mm-hmm.
but I have best relation with my dad because yeah, in some case I replace my dad's activities or like the activities that a father doing home. But I
Mm-hmm.
think that I'm training for the future when when it's my turn to be a father. I don't know when, but I think I'm training right now.
When you least expect it, that's what is going to happen.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
always like that. Okay, very good. Very good. Okay, let's go back to the main room, guys.
Yes.
Okay, guys. So, I heard some good and interesting stories about how you share your household activities and responsibilities and so on. Very good. Now, let's have a very quick break, and then we're gonna continue. So let's meet 7 past. Okay, so 5 minute break, and then we regather to continue talking about our ideal homes. Okay, so 5 minutes break. We gather 8:07. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Your camera's on, please. Your camera's on. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Okay, so to start this unit, I would like you to do 3 activities here. So if you log into your Moodle, Unit 7B, Student Book, and then the first 3 activities from the top, 1B, 1C, and 1D. Read the article. How many of the people would like to leave home? Read the article and answer who, and look at the article and answer the questions. So Unit 7B, Student Book, activities 1B, 1C, and 1D, all reading activities. Okay, start with 1B, then progress to 1C and 1D. They're very simple, very straightforward. That's why for each of the activities, you only have 8 minutes. Okay, so Unit 7B, activities 1B, 1C, and 1D. Angelica, Diego, María Antonieta, Yomi, Rafael, Guillermo, Daniel, Luis, Anais, Kimberly, Emilio, your cameras on, please. Thank you, thank you. Emilio, Anais, Luis, Rafael, and María Antonieta, your cameras on.
Teacher, sorry, and in this moment, I have to do 1B, 1C, and 1D.
Yes.
The 3 first.
Yes, from the Unit 7B, the first 3 activities, 1B, 1C, and 1D. It's a very straightforward, and some you just need to answer one question. Okay, so it's quick.
Sorry. Okay.
2 minutes, and then we move on. So activities 1B, 1C, and 1D. Pay attention to what we already spoke about the first conditional. Remember what we said about the structure. Remember what we said about the different tenses. So identify the tense, and then you will be able to answer those 3 questions. Okay, 1 more minute, and then we move on. If you haven't started 1D, I would suggest to leave it afterwards because you're not going to finish in 1 minute. Those who started 1D, please finish it, and then we'll move on. Okay, so as majority of you finished, let's move on. Now, I would like you to have a look at the screen. So yesterday we spoke about the first 2 sentences. Okay, if I miss the bus, I will take a taxi. If I miss the bus, I will take a taxi. What we said is that the second sentence right here was the example of the first condition. Now, let's have a look at the third sentence that we added to the slide. If I missed the bus, I would take a taxi. Now, I want you to have a look at the 3 sentences. What difference do you see between the 3 sentences? Is there a different meaning to each one of them, or the first one and the last one are the same? What do you think? What can you tell me about the 3 sentences? Andrea.
Well, the first sentence, we can see that it's something that already happened. I missed the bus, now I will take taxi. She missed the bus. And in the second one, if I miss, is something that has not happened yet. That could happen. And in the third one, if I miss the bus, I will take a taxi. I think it's the same or not. Like
With
the
which
second one.
The first and the second one
The
are the
last
same.
one is no, the second and the third one. It's not like the same. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
You think that the meaning is the same. If I miss the bus, I will take a taxi. If I miss the bus, I would take a taxi. You think it's the same meaning?
It's just that it's in past, the third one. I missed the bus. I will take a taxi. But
But
yeah,
the
it's not
meaning,
like basically saying, it's not basically saying the same. No.
okay, we'll see.
No.
We'll see if it's the same or not. Who thinks that the second and third sentences, they have a different meaning? Well, all of these sentences that have a different meaning. If I miss the bus, I will take a taxi. Sorry, I miss the bus, I will take a taxi. If I miss the bus, I will take a taxi. And the last one, if I missed the bus, I would take a taxi. So remember yesterday when we were talking, and today as well, when we were talking about the first conditional, which is the example in the sentence number 2, we said that the situation is real. Correct? So we use the first conditional when we're talking in the present or the future, and we talk about the real situation and the consequences. So of the likeliness of the situation happening is very, very real. Meaning, if I say, if I miss the bus, I will take a taxi, it's very likely that I will miss the bus and I will need to take a taxi. Okay? How about the second one? Do you feel or do you sense that it's the same thing? If I missed the bus, I would take a taxi. Do you think the situation here is real or not? Laura?
No, it's an imaginary situation.
There you go. Okay. Okay. Expand.
It's like a possibility. Like if I missed the bus, like I could consider taking a taxi.
Okay. Okay. So which one is more likely to happen, the second sentence or the third one? Which one is more likely to happen? First, sorry, third, second, or third?
The second.
Very good. Very good. So the second conditional, and that's what I went at the beginning of the class to introduce the first one, because as I said, we're going to go through the 4 of them. So we need to be able to separate them and to see when do we use one, and in particular the structure. So the structure, you already had the last activity, the activity 1D, where it was asking you to look at the specific sentences and see what would be the structure of the second conditional. So the second conditional, we used to talk about imaginary situations in the present or the future. Okay, so very, very similar in that sense as the first conditional, because the first conditional we also use in the present or the future, but we use for the real situations. Here we are using for imaginary situations. It is unreal. The possibility of action happening is very unlikely. So that is the main difference between the two. The first conditional, I'll put it here, we say that it is real. The possibility of action happening is very likely. The second conditional is the opposite of that. We use it for present and the future, just like the first conditional, but it is unreal. We're talking about the situations that are unreal. The possibility of action happening is very, very unlikely. In other words, 0. So we're talking in the second conditional, we're talking about imaginary situations. And that's why we say, if I miss the bus, I would take a taxi. I never even aimed for going to that bus. Okay, I'm just imagining, what would I do if this situation happened to me? This is not real. In this case, we're talking about the first conditional, it is real, meaning I normally take a bus to go to work, but in this case, if I missed, I will take a taxi. Okay, so the situation is very, very real for me. It's very likely to happen. Maybe I'm late. In the second conditional, I'm just imagining, what would I do if I missed the bus? So think like that. That's the main difference. The first conditional is real, the situation and the consequences are very, very real. The second conditional, it's imaginary situation. I'm just guessing or speculating. What would I do if this situation happened to me? If I missed the bus, I would take a taxi. I never take buses, okay? But I'm just guessing, what would I do if I was in that situation? So that's what we're saying. It is unreal. The possibility of this happening is very unlikely. Now the structure, you will see that the structure is different too. So again, the structure of just a recap of the first conditional, if or unless plus the present simple in the if clause, and will, going to, won't, might, plus infinitive in the main clause. The second conditional is formed exactly in the same way. It has two parts. One is the if clause, and the other one is the main clause. Okay, just like with the first conditional, exactly the same. Now, the if clause in the second conditional is formed by if plus past simple. In the first conditional was if plus present simple. The main clause would be formed out of would, could, or might plus the infinitive for the main clause. If I missed a bus, I would take a taxi. If they lost the game, they wouldn't go to the finals. Okay, so that's the first conditional. Now, a couple of other things that we need to know about the second conditional. For the verb be, we can use were for all the persons. If I were, if you were, if she were. Okay, we don't need to say was when we're talking about the second conditional. If she were taller, she would play basketball. Okay, because it's unreal situation or imaginary situation. In this case, we can use were for all the persons. I, you, he, she, and so on. We use the phrase, if I were you to give advice. If I were you, I would stay at home. If I were you, I would study harder. If I were you, I would complete 100% on Alticia. Okay, so when we're giving the advice, we are using the phrase, if I were you. And then the main differences between the first and second conditional. So as we said, the first conditional we use when we're talking about the real situations, the situations that are likely to happen. The second conditional, we talk about imaginary or unreal situations. If she were taller, she would play basketball. Okay, this is not real. This is not a real situation. If she is taller, she will play basketball. Now, we cannot use the first conditional in this instance, in this case, because she cannot be any taller. She is as tall as she can be, and that's it. So the situation is unreal. We are imagining what would happen if she was or she were taller. And only that's the only reason why we are using here the second conditional. We cannot use the second conditional because I am as tall as I am. I cannot be any more taller or any more shorter, correct? My height is as it is. So the situation of me being taller is unreal. It can't be happening. And for that reason, we cannot use the first conditional. We cannot say if she is taller, she will play basketball. We have to use the second conditional and the unreal or imaginary situation. If she were taller, she would play basketball. The situation is unreal. So the separation between the two, apart from the structure of how do we form the first and the second conditional, is we use the first conditional when we are talking about real situation. Real. Something is very likely to happen. The consequences are very likely to happen. The second conditional is the opposite of that. It's imaginary situation. This is not real. Okay? So these are the main differences. One more time, coming back to the structure. If plus the past simple for the if clause of the second conditional. And then would, could, or might plus infinitive for the main clause. Okay? Now, let's have a look at the book. Rafael, could you read the white box, please?
If I have a job, I would get my own flat. If David spoke good English, he could get a job in that new hotel. I could get on better with my parents if I did not live with them. I would not do this job unless they pay me a lot, pay me a really good salary. If your sister were here, she did know what to do. If it was warm, we could have a swim. If I were you, I did buy a new computer. I would buy a new computer.
If I were you, I would buy a new computer. Very good. Jamilet, could you read the rules, please? Just under the picture here.
We use the second conditional to talk about hypothetical, imaginary, present, or future situation and its consequence. If I had a job, I don't have a job. I'm imagining. We use the past simple after if and would / wouldn't plus infinitive in the other clause. We can also use could instead of would in the other clause. After if we can use was or were with I, he, and she. We often use second conditionals beginning if I were you, I would to give advice. Here we don't normally use if I was you.
Very good. So we don't normally use if I was you. We use where. Remember, where for all of the persons. And then the first or second conditional. Continue, Jamila.
First or second conditional. If I have time, I'll help you. This is a real situation. It's possible that I'll have the time. First conditional. If I had time, I would help you. This is a hypothetical imaginary situation. I don't actually have time. Second conditional. Would, wouldn't plus infinitive. We also often use would or wouldn't plus infinitive without an if clause. When we talk about imaginary situations, my ideal holiday would be a week in the Bahamas. I would never buy a car as big as yours.
Very good. So remember this, the second conditional, two things to remember here. When do we use it? So when we use it, we talk about hypothetical, unreal, imaginary situations, correct? And then second thing is the structure. If plus the past simple for the if clause, and then would or wouldn't plus the infinitive for the main clause. Now, the differences between the first and second is, as we said, the first one is very, very real. The second one is imaginary. So when we're choosing, and again, we're coming back to the nature of the English grammar, that we use a specific tense to pass or to give a specific message. Exactly the same situation here. Depending on which structure or which conditional you are choosing, you're passing a certain message to the person who is listening. So if you say, if I have time, I'll help you, I will help you. Okay? You're using the first conditional. What you're trying to say is that it is real. Maybe I'm a bit busy now, but I'm trying to find more time to be able to help you. But the situation of me coming and helping you is very real. It's very likely to happen. Second one, if we choose to say the second one, or the structure of the second conditional, and we say, if I had time, I'd help you. What are we trying to say by using the second conditional is that it's very unlikely to happen. I'm packed, I don't have any free time, and I can't help you, in other words. Okay, so the situation there is unreal, it's hypothetical. I'm just imagining what could I do or what would I do if I had time, but it is not real. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to help you. So that is the main difference between the first and second conditional. The first conditional we use when we're trying to say that something is real, that something happening or the consequences happening are very, very real. With the second one, it's the opposite. It's not real. It's imaginary. It's hypothetical. It's not going to happen. Yeah? So when we're using one or the second, when we're choosing to tell someone and choose first or second conditional, we're passing a very, very clear message. Is it real or is it a hypothetical message? Now, let's try to put this into the practice before the end of this class. So what I would like you to do now, I would like you to log into Quizzes. So I'm going to copy the link and put in our chat, but you can also go to joinmyquiz.com, and this is the end game. Please make sure you put your full name once you log into Quizzes. Okay? The link is there in the group chat. Everyone needs to log in. Ingrid, well done. Rafael, Emilio, welcome. Everyone needs to log in. Click the link on the chat or go to joinmyquiz.com and then enter the game code. I need to have 31 students taking this quiz. While everyone else joins, just remember this, okay? First and second condition. In particular, the second conditional, the structure. If plus past simple in the if clause, and then would, could, or might, plus the infinitive in the main clause. Okay? So whatever you see if, that's going to be followed by the past simple in the second conditional. In the first conditional, it was present simple. Okay. We're still missing some students. Click the link, it's in the chat, and then log in, or go to joinmyquiz.com and then enter the game code 194635. There is someone with just the name code. Please change the name. I don't know who this is. You need to put your name, not the game code. Okay, double check, please. It has to show your name. So I will have to remove this person, and then if that's you, please come back and log in with your name, not with the game code. Okay, let's start. Good luck. Remember the structure. This will predominantly be the second conditional. It's not going to be a mixture of the two, it's just the second conditional. Good luck, everyone. Okay, very good. Well done, everyone. Let's see the results. Well done, Janella, the top scorer, Jamilet, Angelica, Edward, and Maria Antonieta. Everyone in each their groups. Very good. The warrior, Andrea. Well done. Well done. Very good. So the key thing to remember about the second conditional, and I will send this to you once we are done here. I will send you this, but remember, the second conditional we use when we're talking about imaginary, hypothetical, unreal situations. The possibility, in other words, of something happening is very, very unreal. Like it's not going to happen. It's a 0% chance. Okay? The first conditional is the opposite of that. It's real, it's possible, it is very likely to happen. That's the main difference between the two. So I will send you that. Now, that will be it for today. Just a few other housekeeping things. Those who joined earlier, remember, this 10 or 20 minutes that we started later the class, I do hope and I honestly expect that everyone was sitting and doing Alticia. If you were not, please do that. Okay, Alticia, we need 50%. Do not lose valuable points. This is probably the easiest points on towards your final grade that you can get. So do not lose those points. Do not wait until the last minute. This group will finish in a couple of weeks' time, I think, this course. So we do really need to speed up, because last week you will be spending on preparation for your oral exam, on the preparation and revision of the all of the things that grammar we touch base, as well as vocabulary and so on. So there is going to be quite a lot of things to do. Additionally, we're still going to have all of the projects, individual projects for each unit. So just like we had the videos, the description of or the summary writings, all of these are counted as an extra or extra curriculum. And again, you have the 2 points for that. So please do not wait with Alticia. Sit little by little every day, every 2 days, every 3 days, however you choose, but do work on it. That's very, very important. Okay, that's one. Two, for those who missed any classes, as I was saying early in the class, please make sure you finish all the previous units, all the way until 7B. Everything has to be finished. Every single activity in every unit has to be finished, because I will very, very soon, I will close those activities and you won't be able to access it. Okay, so please make sure you finish all of them, so that we don't have the emails or questions, Mr. Please unlock it. I will not be able to unlock it. Once it's locked, that's it. So my advice, as soon as possible, review those activities. If any of those activities are pending in any of the units, we are starting 7B now. So everything before that, 6A student book, workbook, 7A, the same student book and workbook, all of those activities have to be completed. Please make sure you do that. And the final thing, maybe not so good to finish with the very bad news, but that's the way. This Friday, we will not have the class. Okay, so I see the sadness in everyone's face that we will not have the class because of the national holiday. I hope you will enjoy the Easter and everything that brings. So this Friday there will not be any class. Don't cry too much because of that. But yeah, we'll see you all next week. So tomorrow we have the class as normal from 6 to 9. Friday no class, and then Monday we come back to our normal routine. Okay, do we have questions about that or anything? Alticia, Moodle, projects? No? Okay, guys, so remember, tomorrow we have a class as normal, and then on Friday there won't be any classes because of the national holiday. Okay, so have a good evening, everyone. Have a good day tomorrow. Have a productive day tomorrow. And I'll see you all tomorrow at 6. Yeah.
Well,
Thank you.
Bye.
Mr.
Bye.
See you guys.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
Bye,
See you
teacher.
tomorrow. Bye,
Teacher.
everyone.
Sure.
Bye bye.
Bye, Vicente.